Welcome back to Friday Night Sports. I'm Martin Folse. As promised, Coach Charlie Stubbs, and we were talking before the break. Best thing about a freshman, they become a sophomore, like Al McGuire used to say. And you were loaded with freshmen last year, but what's your thoughts, first of all, your thoughts on the camp so far?
Well, again, this is my second year with this, and I became, of course, very good friends with the Mannings, and I embrace this camp. You know, I'm super excited. It's on our university, our campus. And then also, we've got 4 of our coaches working it, and I work it in a different role, just kind of being a liaison with Archie and them. But the biggest thing, it's a great recruiting tool, you know, in the way of showing our kids our campus. The biggest thing, too, is just the enthusiasm too of all these young guys, because you get all kinds of different level talents right now, but it's fun for them, and I get to meet a lot of other coaches, fellow coaches, some NFL guys, some great college guys, and then some great high school coaches, so it's a good experience for me also.
How, as a coach, when you're looking at a camp like this and you're seeing, I mean, we walk around, there's all different shapes, sizes. How do you tell who's going to be they all want to be a superstar quarterback, but there's different shapes and sizes. So how do you differentiate and start focusing in on who do you think might be a pretty good prospect?
Well, I think the first thing right now in this kind of camp, it's really a skills camp. You know, it's just trying to develop fundamentals, and that's what the Mannings really want taught here, and just so that all the campers leave better players than when they came. Now, for me, you know, in evaluating them, sure, you might get something that catches your eye, especially for me, a kid from the state of Louisiana that I definitely follow. But really what you have to do to put it all together is you have to get to know them not just as a football player, but as a student. You have to also watch some game film, you know, and see how they react in those situations, because unfortunately in my career of developing quarterbacks, I've had some of them that look great in their fundamentals, but when it comes to playing the game, there was a little bit of a drop-off. So, you know, but it is a good starting point having them here.
They have to be able to play when those lights go on, right?
Oh, exactly. And again, and they all have high goals, or they wouldn't be committing some of their summer to being out here. So I commend all the guys for investing in themselves.
Let's talk a little Nicholls State football now. I know you had a young bunch last year, but really turned it on towards the end of the season and left you with a lot of enthusiasm going into this year. How are things going this year for you? And I know you're looking forward to that second year.
Yeah, we're ready to take another big step this year. I feel like we laid the foundation down good. The thing I'm excited about too is that we have up, and especially during the month of May and June, we had over 50 guys here lifting and training and running and doing those things. So, you know, they hadn't been able to have that too much here at Nicholls before, because again, you know, we're not always in the economy able to provide them summer jobs and those kind of things to keep them around. But we had more of a commitment. On July 11th, Monday coming up, our plans are that there'll probably be 80 to 85 guys on our team here and doing that little final touches before the season starts. So what I'm seeing a lot better here is a more sacrifice, giving up some of their time and putting their energy towards achieving a goal. So, and we did have some young players. You know, and of course, like you mentioned at the very beginning, they're going to be a great year of experience, so we can build on that. But also, we as coaches, I'm pleased that I only had one coach change, and that was Bobby April, and he went to the NFL. Yeah. So you don't get that at this kind of level of coaching, at this kind of college coaching, to have, you know, continuity like that. So the coaches are more on the same page. The players understand. We do have leaders on our team now, while last year I was searching for them. Mm-hmm. So again, those kind of things I really will translate in us playing a much better football.
You make a good point. You said last year you were searching for the one that would step up and be the leader. So a lot of your energy was evaluating, trying to find who that person was. Now that you've identified that, now you can sort of switch gears a little bit, can you?
No question about it, and they can take on some of that role. Right, last year the coaches led. You know what I mean? Because we didn't have any true ones, but now the players can help get in there and take more ownership and things. And so when we're having a practice and maybe a couple drills aren't to the level of championship football, we'll have some players pipe up. And that's what I want to see, where they really, like I mentioned before, take ownership in what we're trying to accomplish.
Last year you had your first coaches show, and you know they believe in you because it's sold out for this year coming. So part of it is buying in to Charlie Stubbs as a coach. You feel now that process has been taking place?
I feel like I feel very good about it, because again, I guess being a little bit older, more veteran coach, I'm very consistent. And now the players really understand what I expect from them, and and they've really got in line. I mean, I have very few problems. I mean, you're always going to have a few, but the thing that excites me is that on August 3rd, I can bring in 95 players. And then the first day of school, I can add to it. And right now already, I'll bring in 95, which last year I was searching for 95, but I have 95. I will add 15 guys on the first day of school. That makes us 110. The reason I put a ceiling on it at 110 right now is because that's all the locker space I have. But guess what? After that, I have 17 additional kids that want to be part of the team. So it's unbelievable the interest that I'm having right now in the program. So I really believe with the coaches show, with with you and the support you've given me, that's given us great exposure around here, positive exposure, and it really helped me a lot in my recruiting efforts.
You said it, not me. You said you're an older veteran coach, so I'm not going to age you too much. But what have you learned over the years as a coach and now as a head coach that you can look at and say, all right, I'm not going to let that rattle me at all because I've seen that 1,000 times before. Is that the key, letting things that you shouldn't let bother you roll off and just focusing on things that should bother you?
Yeah, well, the first thing that I learned from Coach Lavelle Edwards, who's my real mentor in coaching, he taught me this. He said, Charlie, he says, the thing about to be a good head coach, he says, there's things that are important, but some things really don't matter. They're apples and oranges. But you got to be smart enough as a head coach to know what you're not going to compromise on. So I really believe I've identified what I won't bend on. And then some things I'll let them be kids with, you know what I mean, and make it a good environment. But I won't make everything a big deal.
But everybody I've talked to a T with Coach Charlie Stubbs explains it like this. Quiet guy, doesn't raise his voice too much, but when he talks, you know where he stands.
Yeah, I again, and the thing is, I try to be a proactive coach. I'm not a reactive one. So if I see something that could potentially be a problem, I address it right then. The guys, I use this thing as I kind of start twitching a little bit if there's something I need to deal with. So again, and that's the good thing with the coaches. If they know that Coach Stubbs has a problem with them, they don't have to wait long to find out what that is.
So if I'm at the game and I see you twitching a little bit, I know something's getting to you?
That's right. The coaches also know, too, is that I'm not a big eater. You know, I mean, my whole world doesn't revolve around food. So the biggest thing that they know that when I do get a little cranky, just give me a pack of crackers and he'll shut up.
Well, anyway, we appreciate you joining us out here, and I know you're working hard for the year this year. So I know coaches don't make predictions, but what can we look forward to?
I will tell you this, we'll be a much-proved team, and my goal right now is be in a position to win every game.
Very good. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Great talk with, once again, it's Coach Charlie Stubbs, Nicholls State University. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more from the Manning Passing Academy in Thibodaux.